it is because they lived at on a road that was like Sackville, and it meant like bag, and then like they or Sackville and then cul-de-sac, and then it tied into uh, when he was a kid growing up, what they called their cul-de-sac was Bag End, and that's where that came from. So a little tidbit.
So he is Bilbo because Bilbo lives at the end of Bagshot Road in Bag End, which is a cul-de-sac.
Mm-hmm. But I
How
guess
cute.
like Tolkien also, I think Tolkien as a person, that's what they did when he was a child.
Mr. I don't like allegories. Okay.
So
One other little thing.
Yay. Aurora's back.
Hi.
All right.
Like
So,
that was really interesting about Bag End and Sackville.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I wish I had memorized it better, but it was super late
You did
and
a
I was
really good
tired.
job. You're like your own podcast. It was awesome.
Well, thanks.
so conspiracy most cracked. We're in session 1 out of session 0. Late spring, early summer, 1360 Shire Reckoning, 2960 the Third Age, or 2960 of the Third Age. The Shire being 120 miles east to west and 150 miles north to south is divided into 4 farthings. In each farthing there are smaller hamlets, clans, and general Shire cultures. A hobbit's last name often will tell you of which area a hobbit came from, but not always. Lobelium Tukefield may be from Tukeland in a family of heritage that possibly owned fields at one time, or a Gamgee is likely from Gamwich. As you traverse through West Farthing, Michael Delving, the chief town of the Shire and the seat of the Thrain, what the big folk might call a mayor, come to mind. You begin to think of Waymeat and all the mathams and trinkets to buy there, and all the places less known or less traveled, like Rushock Bog, the expanse of the Green Hill country, and even other towns like Sackville or Hardbottle, not to mention this is just West Farthing. While you have yet to visit half the Shire, even less, there is not a hobbit that does not know of your cousin in Hobbiton, Mad Baggins of Bag End, at the end of Bagshot Row, of which you are related and where you are headed right now. Had he really gone on all those adventures? You would like to think so, but it is hard to believe when the Shire to you is as wide as world as they can be, feeling in itself unexplored and mysterious, and beyond these borders seem far-flung and unimaginable. Maybe he's just an eccentric that can spin a good tale, a very good tale. But headed to visit him, you cannot help reflect on how big the Shire is just in itself. After a long walk, you finally reach Hobbiton and then Bagshot Row. Dusk, far behind the evening, displays a clear night sky with stars blazing brightly above. Happy to finally be dry from the rain earlier in the day, but still desiring some comfort, you see your questionable but often inspiring older relation Bilbo's door. His age puts him as more of an uncle in your mind, but needless, you are encouraged at the invite to have some more time with this colorful relative. Approaching his round green door, you find yourself with other distant relations. No doubt you are not the only invite. Looking at each other puzzled, one of you decides to knock on the door, but it springs open before Knuckles can rap on wood. There before you, dapper as ever, is Mr. Bilbo Baggins. Hello, hello, come in, welcome, welcome. He invites you all into his home where he takes your coats. Lovely to see you. Before you can gather your wits, you are ushered into the parlor, where there is a toasty fire, comfortable armchairs and sofas inviting some much needed rest. As you find a chair and settle, Bilbo darts into this room and that, disappearing and reappearing with various comforts of tea, scones, and cakes. Well, go on, catch up. With all the multiplying relatives, I cannot keep a tally of who knows what of who. Tell your stories. Go on, then. Bilbo vanishes back out of the parlor, looking across the room at some familiar faces, some more than others. You decide to introduce yourself proper and catch up with everyone on your life events.
Well, I'm Paladin Took the Second, and just thought I'd stop by for another glorious tale of Bilbo and his eclectic adventures. And before I go off on an adventure of my own.
Nice to meet both of you. I'm Belba Kimchi. This is also very nice to be here. I just want to say it's lovely to be here. What a nice home you have. What a wonderful hearth. And I'm just so glad to be had.
Looks like we lost Aurora.
You mean Belba?
Belba, yeah.
Yes.
Our pictures got switched. Belba.
I was gonna say something, but I was gonna text Matthew or wait. I was like, so do we ask?
We're having an identity crisis in our video.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
You can also ask questions of each other too.
Did you guys get enough tea?
Yes, I have.
Good.
Need some more muffins, though.
Yes. So you've eaten breakfast and noonsies, lemonsies and noonsies. Actually, what time is it right now?
It is after supper.
Oh, it's late night, right?
It's very late. You've been on a very long walk, and you're just now seeing distant relations that maybe you haven't seen in quite some time, or you're just maybe only a little familiar with. And I love that Lobelia is just sitting back judging.
Yeah. Well, Matthew, I'm gonna. Do I know Lobelia or know of?
You know of Lobelia, definitely, but maybe you're not super familiar.
How was your evening, Lobelia? How was your travels?
Oh, we can't hear Lobelia.
Yeah, you're unmuted, so like.
Oh, how long have I been muted? I said something earlier.
Oh, the whole time. I just thought you were like, I'm just going to sit back as Lobelia and not entertain these little tweens because I don't have time for it.
I wondered why Velma interrupted me.
Oh, excellent. So, yes.
Sorry.
This place should be mine, so I don't really have much to say anyways. I was hoping to at one point find the deed in this place, and as soon as Bilbo goes to bed, I'm going to snoop around.
Oh my. I don't know if I want to have any part of that.
It's okay, I'm very sneaky.
Hmm.
So, Paladin, do you want to do a little snooping with me? I'm sure there's plenty of things in the cupboards and drawers that will eventually be mine, and maybe should be mine anyways.
Somewhere in the cooking area, right?
You know, I'm a. If it weren't Bilbo's home, I would gladly do that. But I have too much respect for Bilbo.
That old bugger, he went off to go have adventures. It's very hobbit like, not
What's wrong with
Shire.
having a little venturing? He's well established.
Don't you
He's,
think being a thief is a
I
little
mean,
like?
yeah.
Oh
Do
no,
you
it's
not
owed
like
to me.
adventuring?
It's all owed to me. I would go adventure because I need to get more.
Does it? Is it just because you're too old to
Ah,
adventure?
bite your tongue. I'll hit you with my umbrella.
I don't know. It's that umbrella looks heavy.
I'm only 42. What now? That's what my age is and everything on my little piece of paper. I have my birth certificate right here.
Well, I'm 27, so you are. I'm still a tween.
Has Bilbo gone to bed yet? Can I roll to be stealthy and snoop in a drawer?
Actually,
Because
Is that a good way to start? I don't know what to do.
yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Great.
Bilbo comes around the corner into the parlor with a large manuscript and positions himself by the parlor dining table turned work table, which is filled with maps and notes. Here you can see I've been accounting for my adventures. Yes, all are true. I was not abducted by trolls, as some say, or eaten bad mushrooms, or other such rubbish. Everything I have said that happened, happened, no matter what the rumors. This book, he pats the manuscript rapidly, is my memoirs. He begins walking towards the fire where you are all sitting. No longer able to contain himself, Bilbo places the manuscript on a side table, puts one hand behind his back, and models his other hand in his vest pocket, then stands as tall as he can to ensure he has your attention. Undoubtedly, you wonder why I have called you here. Well, I can say it is not for a gardening summer or a lazy picnic. I'm hoping you will partake in a little adventure. His eyes dance merrily at you, reflecting glints from the fire, and a smile sneaks onto his face. Nothing so grand as mine, of course, but also not as dangerous. I am not Gandalf, and I won't send you off into the wild blue. You should be in no harm's way, that I can see. In return for aiding me, I will provide each of you an honored place in my memoirs by name, and Lobelia, a fair share of my eternal gratitude. And he gives you a wink.
Oh,
Excellent.
well,
When do we go?
saucy.
What I would ask of you is to retrieve what could be considered a family heirloom from the Matham House Museum in Michael Delving. It is just a map of the Shire that has unique annotations across it. It is said to have had been made by the old Duke himself. It came into my grandfather's possession and is likely just collecting dust in the old museum. I've sent many requests to Melva Slowfoot, of who which manages the Matham House, and provided as many generous donations to the museum in hopes to get it back, but for whatever reason of this or that, she has not responded. I would go myself, but because of my express interest in being sniffed out by her pesky dog time and time again, I am unable to retrieve something that was never purchased from my family, and they are only stewards of its safe keeping. I have purchased it, I would say, 4 times over without even a simple reply or a thank you through my donations. Maybe because they think me mad or want payments more so by holding it hostage, or likely she is just slow to any action whatsoever. Enough, I say. Enough. I say we go on an adventure, or you go on an adventure, and gather this for me. I think we need not bother her or cause any confusion or blockades in this matter any further. You can sneak in and retrieve what is already mine, as I once did for the dwarves. In spirit, you would all be burglars, but honest ones. If in the end we conspirators are found out, I have a plan to say it was all a game and just a bit of fun, and I will take all of the blame so none of it should fall on you. Now, what will it be?
Oh, Lobelia, I'll
Hi.
help you with this one.
Yes. Do I get to sneak something away as well?
I won't help you with that one.
So this large man is the one that wants us to go on an adventure. Are we related to the large man? What's his name?
This is Bilbo Baggins. This is an image of Bilbo chatting
Oh, I
with you.
thought Bilbo brought out a large man.
No, he stood as large as possible in posture to secure your
Oh,
attention.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
you.
He
Okay.
tried to become regal
Well,
and
it's
and,
already
and
rightfully
official.
ours
He's a
because
kind of a short
it's
man, and
our
you're
family. Yeah, right?
He's above average height for a hobbit.
Indeed.
The map was that my grandfather's?
yeah. We're about
It
to
may
steal from
be.
your
It may
house.
be. The rumors have it that it was made by the old Took himself, and it is different than other maps in that it has annotations on it that I am very curious to study.
Okay. And so the
Well,
question is, should we
if
go?
it's my grandfather's, then obviously, and you've paid for it, obviously we need to return it.
Yes, I've paid for something that I donated. It's ridiculous.
So, shall we leave the house to go to where the map is?
Not at this moment, but if everybody is interested in partaking in this conspiracy, you can see yourselves down the hall to your rooms or enjoy these comfortable sofas.
Oh,
I have had quite a
conspiracy
day.
now.
What's that?
It's an adventure, not conspiracy.
Yes, yes. I myself have had quite a day, and I will see you for breakfast in the morning. So go ahead and sleep on it if you have any second thoughts, and we can talk about it over first breakfast. Bilbo hums a little song, fades out of the room, down the hall, presumably off to bed.
Well, this should be exciting. I'm eager to look at this map.
Same.
My grandfather made it.
Yes.
How extraordinary.
Now that he's gone, I want to snoop in a drawer.
All right.
Yeah.
If you would like to
Well,
snoop around, you can, yeah, you can roll for a scan, I would say.
So I can roll what?
For a scan. You can do a
A
scan roll.
scan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see here. That would be my wits. And so I have it favored. So I can use two 12-sided dice and choose which one to use, correct?
Correct.
In addition to a pip. And so I get to use one 12-sided die, or I'm sorry, one 6-sided die as well. My wit TN, what does TN stand for?
That's the target
target
number that
number.
you must get equal to or
TN.
better than to succeed
TN,
on your
okay.
scan.
TN means target number. Okay. And so that shouldn't be too hard. I am going to do that then. Do I have permission what, Lord Guide? Lore Guide?
Yeah.
Lord Guide.
Lore, like stories.
Oh, I like
It's
mine
supposed to be
better.
lore master, but I'm like, no, I've never done this before. I'm more of a freshman.
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
if I roll, oh, sorry, am I doing it wrong? What?
No, go for it.
So I got a 8 and a 7 and a 4. So I have
So with
gone
your
over my target number.
with your two 12-sided dice, you'd pick the higher value. You wouldn't be able to add them both. You would choose the one that's the highest, and the other one would go
Okay,
away.
so that's perfect. That's 12 exactly.
Excellent. So being next to the fireplace and scanning in that room and looking for a drawer to open, you see where the manuscript is, which is on a little side table, and you see a little drawer, and you open it, and inside of that drawer, you find a little pouch of tobacco.
Okay.
Would you like to
Lord guide.
continue?
Let's have some.
What's that?
Let's
Um,
have
I-
some.
Or not tobacco, that's right,
Mine.
pipeweed. You find some pipeweed. Yes.
Sweet.
Pipeweed. There we go.
Yes. Who knows what pipeweed
I do
is?
partake.
Well, since that's awesome.
A bunch of hobbits getting high. Hey, it's in the movies. Yeah,
Makes
it's
you
in the
write better.
stories.
Why do you think they take so many naps?
So what would you like to do with the discovered pipeweed that you have found?
I'm going to tuck it away in my pocket and save it for later and not share it with anybody. Nobody knows.
Hey, Matthew.
Lobelia, you
Since
know that I would have helped you. We were just looking for pipeweed. And I have persuasion. But no
I
hey Matthew,
don't know.
I'd like to
I
see
guess
if I can roll for awareness to see if I saw Labella take the weed and start
Lobelia.
searching around Bilbo's place.
I like how you dropped pipe. Did she get the weed? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna roll awareness. All right, so 1d12, and I have 2 pips. And Isabella,
Lobelia.
Sapphire's in the dice pit, so this is going to be interesting. So target number is 15, and I rolled a 15.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Any sixes?
1 6.
Wow, so you actually got an amazing success. So not only did you see what she was doing, you very much or probably had all of the details around it. So how would you like to resolve what just happened here?
Well, since I saw it was only the pipeweed, I'm gonna go up to Labella and mention that. Yeah,
I'll share it with you if you don't
yeah.
tell.
That's I'm gonna. Yeah.
So Paladin jumps up from his
Are you
chair,
even a
goes over
pipeweed
because he immediately
weed smoking?
spotted some of the long bottom leaf. And
Yes.
whereas Lobelia maybe just saw some pipeweed, you're oh, that's the long bottom leaf, that's the good stuff, and you jump out of your chair and you go over and so Lobelia, you're saying I'll share it. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
That's not
Yes.
me.
As long as she's not taking anything like that's worth too much of Bilbo's.
No
Oh,
spoons today.
Any relics or books or any other
yes,
thing like
I
that.
think these are comforts. He would be fine with it.
Yeah, she's just stealing comfort. So,
Hmm.
So we
yeah.
can steal from her.
No, not stealing. She's borrowing. She's sharing. She's sharing her
Just-
discovery.
Just borrow
It's
it.
okay. Bilbo's not going to mind anyways. He won't even notice. You know how much weed he has in the back?
Yeah.
So before moving a little bit further,
Growing it.
Lobelia, would you like to explore outside of the little living room parlor that you're in?
Um, well, yes, I would. I'm going to continue to, let's see here. So I can't scan. I mean, like, do I use another scan or
You
do
could
I?
you could go, you've scanned this room. You could try something else in this room, or you could maybe move to another room and try scanning. Or
Okay.
try something
So,
else as well.
yes, I'll move to another room and I will scan around in there. I'm really snoopy. I'm gonna snoop,
So what
do
you
some
have is
snooping.
you have this
Snoop a
kind of
loop.
living room by the fireplace, and in front of that you have a table, and on that table there's all kinds of papers and messes. And to the right of you, you can see there's sort of a dining room, and to the left of you is the door where you came in, and there's actually a writing nook area. My assumption is are you interested in that writing nook area, or are you interested in the table with all the papers?
Mm, I'm interested in the table with all the papers because I want the deed to Bag End.
Mm, okay.
Oh, real quick question. Did Paladin take away my bag of to smoking
If you shared it,
tobacco?
yeah, if you shared it.
Yeah,
Okay, but we both still
if you
have
shared it,
some.
I accepted half of it.
Okay, so you have half of it. Okay.
Are you smoking it now?
I am not. I
No,
am
I was
saving it.
talking to Paladin. He
I'm
seems
gonna.
very excited about this long bottom leaf.
Well, I see. Well, let's roll if I see her snooping again.
Oh, she's oh, so you're gonna roll before she snoops.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
she
want to
goes
see her
wanders off.
snooping.
See if I can
I
sneak.
know
All right,
I'm
so
definitely not interested in taking, but now it's exciting. I want to know what's in there.
okay. So
Bilbo and I
Oh,
were
that's
never
not
that
good.
close.
You're the oldest
So
or bad
I
influence on us.
rolled. I rolled a 11, but I rolled a 6 and a 1.
yeah, so the 6 doesn't help you unless you meet your target number.
Yeah.
And so you are curious about what Lobelia is up to because she seems to be up to no good. However, the smell of the long bottom leaf really has all your attention right now.
That's what I thought. So I'll I see her leave the room. It's oh, she must be finding more long bottom weed. That's
Yeah,
fine. So I light up.
and
I light up my
she is
pipe.
kind of still in the same room. It's like a larger room that's kind of split a little bit.
Oh,
So
okay,
she's a little
gotcha.
bit of a darker section of it. It's not as well lit. You're more in the
Hiding in
kind
the
of the
shadows.
you're kind of yeah, you're over by the fire. She's more towards the front of the room where there's a large table with all kinds of books and manuscripts and all kinds of papers everywhere. So, Lobelia,
Yeah,
you'd like to
I'm sitting on the floor smoking a pipe by the fire.
excellent. And you would like
Yes,
to
and
scan?
yeah, so I'm gonna scan in that bedside or the table side or I'm sorry, the table with the papers in it. And so my scan oh, did I roll? I made a mistake. No, that's right. Two 12-sided because I have I'm favored. Okay. 1, 2, 3 banana. All right. So I have a 1. Um, and then for my 12-sided dice, I get to choose between a 4 and a 9. Doing this by candlelight seemed like such a good idea, and now it's all dark. All right. So so
It
I
did look really
was
cool from here.
apparent, right?
Yeah.
The drawer is apparently locked because I didn't roll high enough to be able to
Yeah,
scan.
you went over to the table to try to find the deed, and what you found were maps with dragons over mountains and all kinds of elvish nonsense, and a picture of a. You pick up a picture of a troll, and you're just disgusted. It's hand sketched by probably Bilbo, and it's just obnoxious, childish nonsense to you, and you get very frustrated. by this and obviously walk away from the table unsatisfied.
Sounds about right. I guess I'll just sit down frustrated by the fire. I'm cold anyways, because yeah, I'm cold.
All right, so you're all kind of sitting by the fire, Paladin's smoking some pipe weed, and
Long bottom leader.
yeah, long bottom leaf. And Belba, is there anything you'd like to do?
I guess now that we're kind of looking for fun things that are not, you know, maybe I think if I can find it first, I can make sure Bilbo gets it back or something like
Okay.
this. But I'm, but I'm like maybe Lobelia doesn't know yet, and so we're just kind of doing the sneaking together.
Well, you are young and you're impressionable, so
Yes. So I guess I'll scan.
Okay.
But I don't understand the dice, honestly. I've always been a little bit confused. So my scan has a check on it, and then it has 2 dots, and my target number is 13. So how
So what
many?
that means is if you have, and I'll kind of show here. So if you've got, let me see if I can get this camera lined up. Over here, if you've got like,
Oh,
oh
here we
yeah,
go.
absolutely. Thank you. Even better. So you're favored in scan. That's what that means. So you can bring it back. Thank you. That
Okay.
means that you get to roll 2 12-sided dice. That's that little check next to scan, and then you get to pick the best number out of those two. You're favored. The other dice goes away. Then those 2 pips, those 2 little check marks on the other side of scan, those are your 6-sided dice. You get to roll 2 6-sided dice and then add them together to that 12-sided dice to see if you hit your
This
target
many?
number. You roll that many, and then you pick your highest 12-sided dice, add those together, see if you get your target number.
Great. So it looks like I have succeeded. I have 13, and my target number is 13. And then
Excellent.
I had a 6 and a 5.
Oh, wait.
And
You only get to pick one of those 12-sided dice.
well, I have an 11,
Okay, perfect.
and then I have a 6 and a 5. So
You have a
either one of
6 and a
them.
5, so a 6 is a great success. So it doesn't mean that you necessarily pass, but if you do pass and you have a 6, let me know, because that means that you did a fantastic job. So I'm going to say you are sitting around the fire. So this is where you're kind of scanning and looking around. And what you actually see is you see behind Lobelia a little placard. And in that placard, there is a sign that looks like it would have, it says something about title and deed. And then underneath it says, you go and look at it because you're scanning, and it says, Dear Lobelia, I would not leave this out for you to find.
Lobelia, your name's on this.
Oh my.
Bring
Can I
that
roll
candle over
to
here.
steal it?
Wow. Yes,
Sounds like
you
a yes.
absolutely. I actually think you don't need to roll for that. If you want to pocket that, you can. I'll let you just pocket it. Go for it.
I get to pocket the deed to bag ends.
It is, well, it's not a deed. It says title, and it's Bilbo is messing with you. He knows you're coming.
Okay.
He invited you, and he knows you want back in. So he put on display a fake title and deed with a note to you saying, "I would not leave this out for you." Like, dear Lobelia, this I'm not going to leave this out for you. Somewhere where you can find it.
I love that. Yes, I'm going to
That was
definitely take
awesome.
that and I'm going to have that with me. So I'm kind of trying to keep track, like, let's say as we continue on, if I like gather things, then
Mhm.
I was like, should I keep track of the things that like, so now I have half of a bag of long bottom weed and a fake deed in my pockets. right? Like, do I get to take
You
like
can
inventory
keep
of these
as
things?
you can keep taking things and taking inventory. You can kind of take it's definitely Peter Pan breakfast, right? You know, where you can just kind of eat all kinds of imaginary things and do whatever you want. And
Peter
I
Pan
will
breakfast. That's interesting way to
Peter
describe.
Pan dinner where they're eating invisible food, right? It's like you can kind of do whatever. If it's something of importance, I
Magical
will say, okay,
value.
this is actually a little bit more important. You don't need to keep it on your character sheet, but there might be things where it's like, oh, there's a sword. I want to grab that sword. I'm like, okay, that's going to affect your endurance because it's heavy or something. I may or may not say that. Depending on
Okay.
how further along we're in, or I want to pick up a shield, or I want to wear this armor. That's when it gets a little bit more like, all right, this might actually affect you. But you know, little
Okay.
things here and there, you know, it's not going to affect anything.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to say that everybody is smelling Paladin's smoke and just starts to feel a little weary, and nobody really decided to wander away into rooms, but just fell asleep by the fire and had a nice, comfy sleep out in the little living quarters in those nice, comfy chairs.
No,
And
I slept on the ground, on the floor.
oh, you slept on the floor, so you kind of found your way to the floor, probably being the last to fall asleep, right? Enjoying
Hmm.
Yeah.
your pipe weed. In the morning, you awake and you join your cousins at the breakfast table to eat a hearty first breakfast of tomatoes, sausages, breads, and cheeses. Bilbo, finally unable to contain himself, pacing around the table. Well then, that was a fine breakfast. So, will you be off to make a story for yourself and have a little adventure all of your own?
Um, I would like to ask a question. So, can I pocket a sausage?
You absolutely can.
Because
You can.
you mentioned the guy that has the manuscript has a dog, and that's why Bilbo doesn't want to get it himself.
Very
Oh,
smart.
Good
And
call. Good
yes,
call.
yay.
you can easily, with Bilbo's excitement and looking at everybody, sneak a sausage into your umbrella or
All right.
wherever you would
Into the
like.
umbrella.
Oh yeah, everything's going in the umbrella now. You said it.
Anybody else like to do anything before answering Bilbo's call to adventure?
Um, I'd like to ask Bilbo if he is giving us anything to help us with this adventure.
Yes, you can take as many scones as you would like, any muffins, cheeses to help you on your way. Uh, yeah, that should do everything that you would need. I also have uh, some directions. So is there anybody who is not wanting to do this adventure? Is everybody ready?
Um, I think I would want you to write, like, Bilbo, can you write a little note in case we get caught that said we were on your business?
And then it was all a
Yeah,
game.
it was all a game.
I would like you to roll for courtesy because he's not super sure about writing a note because he likes his plan.
Just in case we get caught.
Yes.
Not because I want to be on official Hobbit business.
So could you do a roll for courtesy?
Yeah, I think I'm doing that. I have the same dice. Courtesy is 2 and it's checked. So 2 12 and 2 6. I have to reroll one. Oh man. Well, I did not get that note. Wait,
I
hold on,
have
wait, I did.
oh
Wait, 4 plus. Nope, I didn't. I got 10.
I have made plenty of preparations. You do not need to fear, Belba. You will be taken care of. No worries. No notes or documentation need to come into play.
Do have some nerves about this.
Hmm. All right.
Maybe a song will help me. Can I roll for a song?
I
Go
th
for it.
yes, go ahead and try to sing Bilbo a song.
Can I also roll for a song? Because I want to sing with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Love it.
Yes. Yes.
You can.
Paladin, roll for a song.
Yeah,
We're all
I'll
singing.
join in. I'm always thinking for a good song.
We're singing. We're
Singing
singing.
for a note.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Oh,
Let's
goodness
do
sake.
it.
I'm trying. There it is. Okay, so I have 2 pips and no favorites. So I'm doing 2 6-sided dice, correct?
You are doing 1 12-sided dice always, and then 2
Oh.
6-sided dice. You always get a 12-sided dice. Always.
Okay. Okay. All right. And the song,
I
so
got
I
a
need
20.
16, 12, 16.
Good job.
All
Good
right,
job.
so let's go round robin. So you got 16, and any 6s?
Oh. Who?
Just around. Let's find it. Let's start with Belba. Belba, what did you get?
I got a 3 on my 12-sided dice and a 6 on my 6-sided dice.
So you
but
got
that doesn't
9.
equal 15.
All right,
So I botched it.
and then Paladin, what did you get?
I got 20. My target number is 15. I got 20 with a 1/6.
Excellent. And then Lobelia, what did
I
you?
got my 16.
And
I
did you get?
got a 5 and a 4 in my 6-sided dice, as well as a 12. So I'm going to take that 12 and the 4 to make a 16.
Excellent. So
Can I interject real quick?
yeah.
Oh, what are you doing and where are you going? Your ponies need shoeing. The river is flowing. Oh, tra la la, here down in the valley. And that is
Yes.
directly from The Hobbit. That's
Yes,
the song we
repeat
sang.
it again.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So excellent. Yes. Belba cleared her throat to try to sing and kind of croaked a weird tune out, but then Lobelia and Paladin knew what she was going after, and you sang this beautiful song that really tugged at Bilbo's heart, because it was a little bit about his adventure, whether you believed he went on that adventure or not. And he
You're
knows
welcome.
he knows you're trying to butter him up for the note, so he does write a little note for you.
Aww.
Yay.
Yes.
This eases my nerves. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. So good.
I'm sure he
Good.
won't read them
Is
all,
every
but
is
yes,
is
there we have
everything
it.
everybody satisfied?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I
Very.
gathered up some extra snacks and
Oh, what?
scones and muffins just in
And
case.
my Brella sausage.
Very smart. Very smart indeed. So.
And yeah.
I can run out the door
Well,
and
you
skip
will.
for athletics.
Oh, I also want to try and take a knife,
Oh,
a butter knife.
You want to take a butter knife. I'm going to say
Yeah.
that you're able to do that. He's so excited about the song and writing the note. You're able to sneak a knife in along with some scones and some biscuits. After all, he is very used to dwarves raiding his pantry, and it is pretty often stocked, and he has plenty to spare, and you're doing a favor for him anyway. So these are of no consequence for him. So you grab some cheeses and scones and whatnot.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
On our way out the door, do we see a chopping block? Can I steal his axe when he closes the door? Can I roll to steal it?
You're not quite out the door yet, but you can if you see one. Yes.
Boom.
So good. You'll want to go out the back door, avoid Hobbiton. No doubt some of the gossips who saw you coming into Old Man Baggins' home, no need for them to see you leave and have our plot spoiled before it begins. You'll want to head north into Overhill, and then turn east. There is a ford across the river where you can cross easily. If you cross over country just past Bywater Road and you head south to Waymeet, just keep your wits about you to not overshoot crossing country, or I suppose you could follow Bywater Road round and about up north and then east and then back south to East Road. to get to Waymeet. Well, that is a much longer path. I would suggest crossing over country to shorten it. The walking party inn in Waymeet always has rooms to rest up, which no doubt you'll need at that point. Should be a good place to hide away and not gather any attention. It's usually empty. From there, you will be fine to get to Michael Delving, with no association to me and my fine good reputation of being a mad, reputation tarnishing individual, and ruining your own reputation, you up and comers. Well, go on then. Bilbo motions towards the back door.
And
Okay,
I want to run out.
I head out.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're
do we have
heading
to
out.
roll to get out the door?
No, you're out. You're out the door now. Well, if you want to be.
Okay.
Door's open.
Okay, so I'm out the door. Is the door closed yet?
If all of you are out the door, he has closed the door.
All right. Can I roll to be sneaky? Can I roll to be stealthy? I'm looking around for. I mean, like, is there a chopping block outside? Or I guess that's what I need to do. I need to roll for a scan. What's
Yeah,
outside?
you could roll for. I would say, yeah, you're close enough where it might be a scan.
All right. So, I get 2 12-sided dice and 1 6-sided dice. And let's see here. So, oh, I got a 12. So that means that I win, right?
Yes, if you hit your target number, then you did do a successful scan. Did you get any sixes?
I did not.
All right. Well, you scan around and you see absolutely a chopping block with some chop kindling and a decent axe stuck into the chopping block. You do see some wood that is set to the side, and some flowers and some little gardening with some shovels and hoes and things on to the other side of the path.
Okay, so can I ask my companions? I would prefer to have a bow or a sword. Does anybody want that axe over there?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Well, take it. Get it.
Yep.
Get after it.
Yes, I can use axes, but I'm better with swords, so
Oh,
take the axe.
well, you can have
So-
the axe. Actually, you can have the axe. I'm faint. I don't think we're gonna have to axe your uncle. So
Hopefully not.
if that, yeah, I now realize that it's okay. I don't need it. I don't want it. But I do want to run over and craft a flower headband.
There we go.
You would.
I'm gonna say that you are. You won't have to roll for that. You seem to be. You're a Gamgee. You love things that grow. You love gardening, and you're able to fashion a beautiful headband for yourself. And you can even describe it a little bit for us if you would like.
Oh, well, like I thought about the axe only because we were talking about adventure and I was having such a good time copying Lobelia and all the things she was doing.
Definitely.
And then when I held it, it didn't feel natural, so I kind of threw it and offered it to, like gently put it down, kind of like touched it, but then not touched it. Does that make sense? Like hesitant.
Yeah.
And then drifted because then I saw this really beautiful open morning flowers right next to the stump where she found the axe and decided to pick those instead. And then like picked just a handful of them and then started kind of wandering, walking, looking down at the flowers, trying to knit them together in the direction that we need to go.
Excellent. And then Paladin, you're taking the axe, correct?
No, I'm not taking it.
Don't need to
Wisdom.
axe your uncle.
All right.
I mean, it's Bilbo's axe, so
And
I'm
just
gonna leave it there.
yeah, absolutely. So, what would you like to do next?
I'm going to argue because I am Lobelia, and I'm going to say it's not for the uncle, it is for the journey.
Well, you do think
Yeah,
that
but
you are
we don't
family
really
of
need
Bilbo.
an axe to sneak into a place.
Well, isn't
Between you
it
and
like, so
Bilbo.
we have to go north over the hill, then east, and then we got to get to Waymeet, and then we have to sleep there. So this is a trek. I don't know. You never
It's a
know. I don't
trap.
want to get robbed.
If you
Oh, well, I
see
said
if you see
trek.
the little map here, because Bilbo had this and kind of, you're very familiar with this kind of area of town, you can see where he kind of traced, and Lobelia is correct. Waymeet is the halfway point. So this is about a 2 to 3 day journey depending on events.
So have we traveled up this way? We
I would say
we haven't. You said we haven't explored much of the Shire, so
yes. So the Shire, again, is about 150 miles north to south and 120 miles east to west.
yep.
This is just a very, very small section of the Shire. It would take a hobbit probably 4 weeks to travel from one side of the Shire to the other.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just thinking specifically of this area that we're going
This
to.
area right here is still just within the West Farthing, and this is yeah, this is probably a 3 day journey. And you're familiar with Michael Delving as it's the seat of what would be considered a mayor of the Shires. It's like your capital.
well,
Okay.
it would be really helpful, Paladin, to if you'd want to chop the wood for the fire for the meals.
No, still not going to take the axe.
Well, then I change my mind. I'll
You're gonna
make my
take
own
it?
fire. I don't need help. I just want to make sure that I'm comfortable. I think Lobelia might be right.
Okay, so what is your strength, Belba?
So I turn around, my little head down, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'll take it.
What is your strength target number at, Belba?
Me?
Yes, you're Belba. You're Belba
Oh
Gamgee.
my gosh.
What is your strength at? What is your
I
strength
5
number?
forgot
minutes later.
entirely who I
Yeah,
was. Okay, sorry.
I was like,
Um,
is it glitched?
yeah.
Did we lose her?
felt glitched. It felt entirely glitched. Oh my god. So funny. My strength is 15.
So you go to pick the axe up, and you notice it is a little heavy, but you think that you can manage if you're willing to spend 1 point of load, which will affect your endurance over time.
Okay.
So you would just mark 1 for load, and that load, whatever your endurance is, would basically be -1 of that endurance. And if your endurance ever gets down to 0, then you fall asleep.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So you have the axe, you have your flower crown. You're still outside of the back door. What would you like to do? I love Lobelia's taking all these notes. She's got it dialed in.
Yeah, I'm taking notes as well.
Oh, great, great.
I need to bring a my notebook to take notes. There's not enough room on the character sheet.
Oh, and I realized Bilbo just rattled through like all of the directions as he would.
Um,
Yeah,
so, do you want to get a piece of paper there, Paladin? Can I give him a piece of paper, but you guys actually give him a piece of paper because I'm not there?
Yeah, do you need some paper?
yeah, that'd be nice.
So you're outside
Yes.
of Bilbo's door. Uh, you have a axe wielding, flower crowned Belba. Paladin is there as well with his. Do you have any? Do you have any pipe weed left over, or did you smoke it all the
I
night before?
do.
Okay, great. So you
Yeah.
have some of that left, and then
I have a whole half a bag. whatever it was that we had before. I smoked none.
Mm-hmm. You have an umbrella of sausages, and I think Paladin has some foods as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, some
And
scones
my
and
fake seed.
biscuits, and the half bag of, well, little less than half bag of long bottom weed, and a butter
Excellent.
knife.
Excellent. So I think, would you like to move forward up to Overhill as suggested and try to find this ford along the river to pass?
We
Yeah.
want to go north because that's what you said. North over hill and then east.
Yep.
Yes. So traveling north
Do we
across
have
some. Oh, go ahead.
do athletics for traveling? Or
No,
what?
no. In
Okay.
some circumstances, I might have you roll if there's a longer travel and different things can occur. But in this case, we're okay.
Hey, can I
Traveling.
ask real quick? So
Yes.
what month is this?
Oh, yeah. It's a good question. So it is late spring, early summer.
Okay, so we're not going to need like, I don't know. So, and what are we wearing?
Your normal hobbit attire, right? So usually they have lots of
No
layers,
shoes.
no shoes.
Okay,
Yeah, well said. Different kinds of vests and coats and lots of buttons, and they're usually dressed in such ways that they would be
Like
probably
peasanty.
good for a little party, while also be ready for farming.
awesome. So I'm jaunty right now. Okay,
Yeah,
but I'm warm.
they can be rugged and elegant at the same time. Very
Awesome.
Victorian farmer.
So I guess you understand where this is leading. Like the weather is decent. It's not raining. It's not snowing.
It's decent. It was raining yesterday on your walk to Bilbo's on your
So you had
hike,
your
but
umbrella.
you dried.
I
You were
have an
fine.
umbrella.
You were fine. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So I don't know if you guys want to get like, a tarp.
No, I have my straw hat, and I uh, I don't
We're
mind if
good
it
to
rains
go.
on me while I sleep.
I got
All
my
right.
scarf
Sorry,
on
Matthew.
ready.
Okay.
So traveling north across some slightly rolling incline and
Thank
long
you.
grassy country, you wander along the Bywater River and eventually come to the ford. However, it is clearly impassable, as the water is much higher than expected and traveling at a decent swiftness. Bilbo must have not accounted for the time of year and yesterday's heavy rainfall.
Boom.
What was the river called that was flooded? Or the
Bywater.
area?
So there was a ford that he said that you could easily pass, but it is now, it looks more like a bit of a river that seems that it would be a little tough
So
to
we just need to
pass.
scan for a crossing.
Well, he did say that we could take Bywater Road, and then Bywater Road is just longer and it goes around
It's
more,
on
but
the
we'll
other
still get
side of
there.
the river, unfortunately.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
cross the ford to get to Bywater
Can
Road.
we craft a raft? That's a
You,
little hard. That's too hard for me. I'm just kidding. Um, can we
Well,
scan for a
maybe.
different crossing?
yeah, you can
Who has
definitely.
craft?
You are now. This is
Who
actually
has craft?
a good point. You are in a wide open area, so scanning is a little bit of looking for clues. But in a wide open area, you might use something similar to scan, which is
Explore.
explore.
Um,
Absolutely.
I'll explore, but I only have. I'm not very good at it. So,
You're gonna explore.
12.
Yeah, I'll explore as well.
Okay.
Oh, I guess. Wait, no. I have it checked, but I don't have any six-sided dice. Got it. I get 2 12.
well, Lobella does not explore.
I only got a 10.
So explore.
That didn't work.
So I got a 21 with a 6. My
Wow.
Great.
target number is 14.
Super great.
So you it doesn't take you long to see a hollowed log across the other side of the river, just up from the ford. where the ford would be. And it's just kind of there off of the bank. And your mind starts churning on maybe if there's a way to get that log off of the bank, you could actually create maybe some sort of floating type boat or some kind of bridge if you could just get it from that other side over for everyone.
Is anyone walking by?
No, you're very much kind of out in farm country.
Okay, so you said that there's a log on the other side. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's a very large hollowed out log that is on the other side of the river. And yes,
Other side,
it's on the
not
other
far side.
side. Yes, somebody
Can
might
I get
have.
some
Yeah,
can I get some dimensions for this river? Like, is it, bigger than a bread box? Like how
it would be a ford would be very helpful for a hobbit. It's I would say that you're looking at maybe about a distance of 10 to 15 feet across, so you wouldn't be able to jump over it. Um,
Okay. So it's like the icicle, it's not the Columbia.
yes, absolutely. So it's not a massive river by any stretch of the imagination, but it still can present some danger for hobbits. If you recall, Samwise was not a great. They're not great swimmers.
There's no trees on our side of the river, is there?
Would you like to roll for an explorer?
Yes, I would like to. Well, I can't explore though. Can I scan to see if there's a tree on our side of the river? Because we could chop down the
You
tree
scan, or
and
you
then
can
have it
maybe do
fall.
awareness.
Ooh, yeah. Do an awareness, maybe.
Um, yes, I could do an awareness.
That works.
I
Let's try it.
currently am very aware. All right. So, let's see here. 112 and then 26. 112, 2. That's not correct. There we go. All right. So I, as awareness, would need a 16. I have rolled an 11 and 6 and a 1. So
So unfortunately, the
I
11 is an Eye of Sauron, which would be a 0.
0. So I am not very aware today.
Anybody else like to try?
Let's see. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
So Lobelia says there's got to be a way, right? But you don't know
Yeah,
the way.
exactly.
I'll see what.
You better figure it out, or I'm going to hit you with my umbrella.
I do have a
Excellent.
Are you gonna take the sausages out first?
I'm just going to let them tumble onto me as I hit you. Priorities.
Oh, I got. Let's see here. 15 is my target number. I rolled an 18.
Excellent.
Yay!
Any 6s?
No sixes. A 10, a 3, and a 5.
Excellent. So obviously you would be able to see trees around. The reason why I wanted you to roll for something is because you see a particular tree that's next to a bank that something catches your eye. And what it is it looks like some hobbits a little bit younger than you, even though you are young, have tied some rope to the tree and have used it to dare each other to swing over, because you would not swing and jump into a river, but they would swing over the water and then back in to safe land. But you see this rope there.
So,
Athletics.
yeah,
'Cause I'm
I'm
gonna try it.
Lobelia. And yeah, I'm going to say that, we can get that rope to get that log.
Oh,
So
I might not do very well. I think I might die.
I am not athletic.
You would not Indiana Jones this. No, you wouldn't take the rope and try to
That is.
jump across. It'd be a little too far.
What do you?
But
So
You
you
could
want to
did
try.
make a
you?
left.
You could certainly try.
Contraption?
You can absolutely try.
I have athletics, and it's favored, but I only have 1 pip. So
Use your eyes again.
Well, what you could do if you wanted the rope is you could actually use
wear underwear.
Yeah,
there a
I
rock or
would say this
anything?
is more of a crafting or a travel, because if you're trying to get the rope, you're just
Let's
trying to
keep
untie
moving.
it and get it,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah.
No, I was thinking more athletics, depending how big the tree is. Athletics to climb the tree
As
to get to the
kids,
rope.
it's low enough. It's just children's nonsense.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, if there's a tree and a rope, then couldn't we just chop down the tree and it would cross the river?
You could certainly try.
So,
He did say there's only one log across the water.
okay.
So this,
So,
but it is strong enough for children to swing around on in this imagination land of logic, fun
Yep.
six.
is the log taller than the river is wide?
Good question.
The log across the river is definitely going to it presents a viable solution for making a way across, more so than this tree that the children have been using to swing on for three hobbits who have enjoyed many meals in their life.
We shouldn't let these
So,
children swing on this thing anymore, though. They're gonna
I
die.
think that I think
Might as well chop it down for good measure.
Let's just say that the log that is across the river will keep you dry, if you're good at using it, whereas the tree, you'll be fairly up to your neck while you're trying to navigate with it across the river.
if I don't know how clever I am or how like, if I need to like make different components, but could I roll to craft the stick and the rope into a bow and arrow to be able to hit the log and then pull it to our side?
Absolutely, you could create a lasso of sorts, or some sort of
I
device to
think you're
craft to
brilliant.
try to grab that log across the river. Yeah.
All right. So I am going to roll to see if I can craft that because that would be pretty crafty.
That'd
All
be
right.
awesome.
Right. I am not crafty. I am none crafty. I got a 5. I needed 16.
I'll help you.
Did you
So
roll your 12-sided dice as well?
I rolled one 12-sided dice and one 6-sided dice because
Okay.
I only have one
I'll
pip in craft.
Gotcha.
I'll try to copy her because she's, I feel sad for her.
I'm your elder. You have to do what I
Good.
say. I told
Wow.
you to.
I
You
got
did
a
well.
12 and a 2. Oh, so close. One. I just need one more.
You
So
can spend
it
1
back
point.
and hit
How much?
me.
How much hope do you have?
Huh?
We haven't explored
Hope?
the hope. Yes, you should all have hope.
What's hope?
Heart?
Everybody,
Hope
yeah. If you look at heart and you look
in the heart
down,
to column.
yeah, next to heart, you'll see hope.
16.
You can you can
I didn't
spend
even notice those yet. Sorry.
you can
That really
spend
kind
you can spend. You'll have to keep track of this because it'll be a little hard for me, but you can spend 1 hope to roll 1 extra dice if you want.
Oh,
Sorry,
Oh.
I forgot to remind about that.
so were you close? Did you need to roll again, Ophelia, with your hope? Since this is your bow.
Well, I don't know. I have 16 hope, so that's a pretty high number.
Yeah, you would just roll 1 dice for each attempt. You wouldn't be able to roll multiple hopes. So
Oh,
for
I
this
only need
attempt, you'd be able to roll 1. You'd
pretty
spend 1
much.
hope.
I got it. 15. Like if I have
Hmm.
12 and 2 and I only need one more point, then I did this. I was like, watch this. And then I just
Okay.
so I'm
Yeah.
gonna use one hope. Oh my gosh. I literally got a 1. That was all I needed.
All right. So you craft
I'm
together
15 now.
a crude lasso to grab this log, and you're actually able to get it on kind of the second or third try and pull this log over to your side of the riverbank. Now, it's not going to act as a bridge so much, But you could potentially fit 3 hobbits on this and maybe figure out how to get from one side of the river to the other.
I mean, wouldn't we just tie it to the tree and then like we pull it like a boat? We just sit on it and pull it.
Well,
Make a canoe.
oh, I see what you're saying. Like actually,
Axe.
explain it again a different way. So what did you want to do?
So if we lasso it and then we drag the hollowed out tree to our side, then we could tie it partially to this tree and then like kind of well, I guess there's not another tree on the other side. Is that right?
Yeah, and the
I
rope.
was thinking we could tie it to one side and then the other and
Oh
then
yeah,
just
and just
pull it
pull
across.
ourselves
Mhm.
across.
The rope may not be that long either.
Mm.
So do we just hold on to the rope? Because I mean, if it got to the log, do we just swim?
Yeah, we could use the log as a flotation device. And
No, anchor, like an anchor. Like we don't, because like in
You're gonna get all wet.
Well, we're gonna float downriver quite a bit if we get on the log.
Are we trying to float down
The
river?
right direction.
You're just trying to cross, and you could potentially float down river to cross.
I mean, another question is, do we know where the next bridge is?
Yeah,
If
and
we
I
don't
would
want to
I would
float
say
across the river.
That's what I've been wanting to do for
because
sure.
of our where we're
But I
currently
gave you
located
a
with
bow and
our
arrow for later. Like,
with
I
our
made
with our
something useful.
icicle with our white waters. It's not a white water kind of a river. It's just it's got a decent flow. It's got a decent depth, but we're not talking rushing whitewater river of danger, but there is just a little bit of danger for hobbits. For normal size big folk, we would probably not even think twice about maybe even wanting to inner tube down it.
So, am I getting the right impression that we want to cross the river and you're very discouraging of us wanting to use it as a boat and we float down
No,
the river?
you
I'm
absolutely can use it as
discouraging.
a
It's
boat. Yeah.
cold.
Well, I say we lasso it and then pull it back to, to our side. We bring the
Just wanted
rope
to
with
make
us.
this up.
We'll put it in my umbrella and then we'll just like, do a little paddling.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'm all for that.
Cold.
Well, you could always sit on top of the log if you like and try to paddle with your hands.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, so everybody will be on top of I like that. So everybody's on top of the log and you're just trying to paddle with your hands and feet. Okay.
Well, I don't know.
What temperature is it
Bell,
outside again?
Thelma. It was raining yesterday, but it's not so rainy today. And we have an axe. We can make some firewood.
Yep.
We'll use the log and we'll make it into firewood and we'll
What kind of
make a
hobbit are
fire.
you?
I am apparently a very crafty one. I mean, well,
I'm very
scruffy
good at
one.
walking.
A very
His feet are very
crafty.
good at walking.
Would everybody like to roll for? We're gonna say that you. Let's. Where's everybody's
But it is
position
a
on the
majority
log?
rule, so maybe I just go ahead. I mean, you guys are already getting on the log. What other ideas are you gonna come up with that I will have to be good conscious for?
Well, so we could also do this like before. There's the rope that was in the tree, right? The tree that's standing up. So we've taken the rope down from that tree. We've lassoed the log. We've pulled the log to our side. The log is kind of hollowed out. That's how it was described. So we could get in that hollowed out part and use it kind of like as a boat. And
Yeah,
if
like a
we're
canoe.
worried about, yeah, like a canoe. if we're concerned about going too fast, then we can have the rope tied to that tree so that we can kind of gently and see if we can push off and then ease our way to the other side at kind of an angle. I don't know if we'll have to roll to see whether or not we make it to the other side, or if we should just take the rope with us and then now we get in the, hollowed out log canoe and we just start doing a little drifting.
Yeah.
We could inner tube down it. It'll be fine.
Have we done this before?
Yeah. I have all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so I think I understand where everybody is at, but just so I'm clear, there's a hollowed out log. You're going to try to, you're interpreting that as the log is kind of cut in half and hollowed like a canoe. So you're going to try to get into that portion of it and move down the river. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm hearing?
Like if it, I think where Labella was going is if it wasn't hauled out enough, we could use the axe to make it
Gotcha.
hauled out enough for us to float down it and float down it in a canoe style,
Excellent.
and
Okay.
then tie the rope to the tree, and then hold on to the rope so we can guide ourselves down the river to the other side.
I'm going to say that you can successfully kind of shape this into a little bit of a canoe. However, it becomes very apparent that the rope is going to be more of a liability and a hindrance to you actually crossing the river just because of the tying it and the length of it and all of those things that it gives, with the swiftness of it, you're probably going to lose rope before you can actually get across the river. But
Can
you
I
do,
interject?
yes.
So, can I roll for a riddle just for funsies?
Sure. So what are you riddling?
I have a riddle from The Hobbit. So, I rolled a
But
10
I'm very uncomfortable.
and a
holding
3, a
my leg.
5, and an 11. So, I made it over 12. So, can I
So an
share my
11,
riddle?
11 again is going to be a 0 because that's the Eye of Sauron. It,
The 12 sided
First-
dice was
Yeah.
my 10. So,
oh,
the
gotcha.
11
So
was my 6.
understood. Thank you.
Okay, what has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows? We're thinking it over. This is a good palate cleanser. We're standing at the edge of the river. We're all arguing.
That's really true. It's true. What a fun idea. William. Could you read it? Can you say it again?
What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows? Any guesses?
Yes, maybe. Well, for some reason I'm thinking of a family tree, but then that does grow. So,
I of course know the answer, but I'm not in the world right now. This is a question for
Say it, Lord
hobbits.
Guide.
No, you get to say it.
go ahead.
I
Go
read
for
it
it.
from a book. I know. It's a mountain.
It's a mountain.
Oh, it's a mountain.
Okay, sorry about
I've
that,
been
Lord
to-
Guide.
That's
No,
good.
kidding.
Great riddle. So just to kind of move things along a little bit, all of you clamber into this canoe type log situation, trying to paddle hands and everything to get across with the current. Can each of you make an athletics roll?
I have none athletics.
So you can still roll your d12.
Oh,
Yeah, you always get to roll the d12.
Don't
If you
die,
happen
don't
to
die.
hit a 12, it's a success no matter what.
I'm
9.
okay. 10 and 16. Or sorry, 16.
I have a lot of endurance, though.
Um,
I'm an old bird.
I think you might have fallen off the log.
so
I did.
I got just a 15. I got a 12 and a 3.
You got a 12 and a
Oh,
3.
wow.
So you got a total success with the Gandalf symbol, and then you got a 3. And then Belba, what did you get?
I'm at 16 and I needed a 15.
Okay, so you passed. Did you get a 6?
Yes.
So you
6
passed
and a 10.
really well. And then Lobelia, what did you get?
A 9.
A 9. Okay, so
Oh, nice.
um,
I fell off the log.
surprisingly, Lobelia, Belba surprised everybody with her ability to just paddle and move, and just like she was in the front, and between the river and everything else, like Paladin is grabbing the boat, almost not paddling it. He's paddled a little bit with his hands, but she's just going crazy at it. Either it's endurance or athletics or whatever, but
Scared to
everybody's
death.
just
I don't want to die.
surprised, so much so that Lobelia falls backwards into the water, able to, salvage her umbrella, keeping that in the boat, and is holding onto the back and starts kicking a little bit to help, but soaking wet. She does make it to the other side with the rest of the hobbits, and comes out
All right.
probably fairly
I'll help her
grumpy.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll help her
Amelia,
out
I'm
of the
so
water.
sorry.
Help her out of the water on the shore, and say that.
That wasn't too
Yeah,
bad at all.
you might be a little too old for this, so I'll help you. Help the elderly here.
Beginner's luck, Amelia. Beginner's luck.
Yeah, that was amazing, Velma.
So you follow Bilbo's instructions about going down Bywater Road and then finally getting to the East Road, and you don't gather any suspicion from Hobbiton. The only suspicion that you gathered is probably from Lobelia being absolutely soaking wet for some of the journey on Bywater Road, and so having to explain some of that away. Eventually, you find yourself entering Waymeet during the hintings of the dusk at night. There are still some hobbits about trading goods in their makeshift open air market. Tables are covered in wares along the road, which it always has been an attraction in this town, the open air and the tables with all of these different mathams on them. Uh, Being after dinner but just before supper, it is surprisingly still bustling, mostly because of the longer daylight and the warmer weather. Most of the tables cluster around a tavern with a sign hanging, "The Walking Party Tavern."
I'm gonna do some snooping. I'm gonna scan.
Yeah, are there any fires around? Like,
There's
how is
no
the area lit?
the the areas, again, it's a kind of a bustling trading little town, little village, and again, there's a couple of homes, and the path is more of a dirt path. It's not cobblestone or anything too modern, and again, you see people trading and selling. You would have expected it to be a little bit slower, though. And as far as fires go, yeah, you see some chimneys with some smoke coming out, but not too much. It's fairly warm this time of year, so it's probably just people cooking.
Okay.
Um, so
Definitely, there's fire coming from the Walking Party Inn.
so are we inside or outside of what was the name of the
Waymeet. So you are at Waymeet, and you are inside the town now. And
what was the inn?
the Walking Party Inn.
Okay.
Fairly surprised, as Bilbo had mentioned, it'd probably be fairly quiet, and you'd go in somewhat.
So let's do awareness. Maybe
Okay.
like,
Awareness, not scan.
oh,
Well, are you searching for something specific or just seeing what's around?
Yeah, like I mean, there was some say like some village people were like stuff. Maybe there's some things we might be
Ooh,
needing.
do we need to
But
ask if there's a room? Do we do some,
Absolutely. Bilbo had mentioned that the walking party inn should be pretty empty and an easy place to go and rest up before heading to Michael Delving, because it's a long journey and it's already just about night. And I'm
so do
sure as
we,
hobbits you might be a little, well, I don't know.
Weary.
You took some food, so maybe you're fine.
do we roll for awe or courtesy?
You could just walk around. You could walk to the inn. You could go to tables. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to roll for anything yet.
Well, I'm still wet, and so I think I need to get
You
into a room
Yeah.
you'd
first.
be dry by
I
this
need to.
time.
Okay, I'm
So
dry now.
yeah, because when
Okay,
you left
that's
Bilbo's, it
nice.
was breakfast time, and now it's evening, and it's late spring, early summer. So you're probably not exactly cheery, because you're not exactly like, oh, I've been comfortable all day. Your clothes are dry, but you've been dealing with that dampness, and so you're just a little maybe, whatever, however you want to go with that.
What if they're like? Is it a nice town or is it not a nice town?
It's a nice town. I mean, it's a hobbit town. It's a basic town. You
Oh.
probably have been there. You know about it. It's just people. They have these tables that are all out in the open. And on the table there are mathams, which mathams is a hobbit word for trinkets. And if you want to know a little bit more about hobbits and mathams, during birthdays, hobbits give gifts when it's their birthday to other people. But it's not exactly something to be super excited about. Think of it as a white elephant gift where you don't get to give that gift to anybody else. So it's a great time for you to get rid of stuff that you don't want. That's a matham. That is what is on this table is trinkets. And so sometimes there might be things that you do want, like you see gravy boats and
Well, I want to stand
pins
Yes.
and
and
like
feathers and just
Ooh,
Yeah.
just
stand.
like
I'm gonna
a
go over and
I
check at the
want some.
wares.
I want some. I want something. How do I get it? How do I get something?
Belma, why don't you sell or trade your flower wreath head thing?
Mm.
I love it. I love that it's turned into a swap meet.
You're really
I don't know
passionate
about
about your
this.
flower head.
Right. Swap meet, the RPG. Yeah, you could totally do that.
Do we have any money?
I
We should have
brought my
gotten.
Yes,
old mug.
you
I'm
do
trying
have.
to.
Oh, go ahead.
Do we have money?
Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
you've got some money on you. I mean, Bilbo didn't. He probably gave you a little bit of spending money, and Lobelia obviously comes from some decent money, and uh, you know, uh,
And that's
pa-
why she's so
Paladin
sassy.
is a farmer, and he comes from a family. A lot of the families have been there for generations, so nobody's really, hurting too terribly.
Yeah.
Well, can I scan the
I'd
tape?
like to go look at the wares.
I don't want a feather. I want like a better mug or something, or things that'll be useful for traveling with.
I want
Excellent.
a feather.
All right. So you want a
Maybe,
feather and you want a
maybe.
better mug.
No,
And Paladin, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for
Oh,
anything that might be useful in case we have to uh, cause a distraction or like help get into the
fireworks.
museum.
fireworks.
Yep.
I want
Unfortunately,
Have
binoculars.
there are
fireworks. Yeah.
no fireworks on any of these stanzas. Those are only owned by Gandalf and potentially troublemakers and makers, which is just not
Well,
acceptable
that's
in the Shire.
Labella.
Matches.
Can I actually I would like to see if there's knitting needles
Okay.
and
Mm.
um yarn.
Excellent. Knitting needles and yarn,
What
and
about
then
binoculars?
and then there's probably no binoculars in this. I mean, you might find a magnifying glass of
Fishing
some
hooks,
magnifying, like not like a rudimentary kind of a primitive magnifying device.
water filters.
A Brita.
Do I have
How do we not
how
get
about a
hysteria
tent?
in Hobbit Town?
So,
Wait, so what do I roll for?
so
How do I roll for
well, first, let's figure out what everybody's wanting. So you were wanting some knitting and some devices. So go ahead.
Matches.
I would like you to roll for
Pipe
riddle,
for pegweed.
please.
Riddle?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 1 and then 3. So boo boo boo. 1 second here. All right. I got 3 little die and 1 12-sided die. All right. So for that, I would need 12, and I have 12. I got a 10, and then I got like a 6 and a 6 and a 2.
Ooh.
So you passed then with some sixes?
Um, yes. I mean, I got 2 6s, but I
Okay.
also got my 12. So either way,
Oh,
I
wow,
think I
wow.
get some
So
knitting stuff.
you did a great job.
How about a fish hook too? Can I get knitting needles, yarn, and fish hooks?
Yeah, fish
Yeah,
hooks are
I
good.
think with that six, with those 2 6s, absolutely. So you go up to the vendor and you see all these different mathoms that you're not really interested in. This one vendor has all kinds of yarns, and not only that, but you're seeing some yarn that you didn't even have in your town that you'd been looking for a while. It was like a treasure.
Ooh, is
So
it silk?
it's a silk. Thank you. Yeah, it was a silk yarn that you had, and then next to that there were some. He actually didn't have any fish hooks on the table, but he had some fishing poles, and you asked for some of the fish hooks, and you were able to strike a deal and not only grab the yarn and the needles, but the fish hook as well. So
Ooh.
what were you going for, Belba?
Oh, there's too many choices. What do should I do a candle too so that I don't know, we have light or what? Fish hooks are a good idea, but now I don't know. Um,
I might share a
a
fish.
sleeping bag or some sort or something,
You did
maybe?
pull me into the boat.
Huh?
I said I might share a fish. You did pull me into the boat.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, yeah.
What other things are?
Which year did I? Oh, no, I helped you out of the water onto the land. That's right.
Oh, yes. Well, then, yeah. There
I
you
just
go.
was like, wee!
She was just paddling.
I'm
Yeah,
so good at
Um,
Expert canoeing.
perhaps
So
like
I lost a
a pocket
friend.
knife.
Yeah,
This
you
is
could
bad idea.
maybe you
That was
look at
their idea.
the tables and you don't see anything of interest. They are, after all, mathoms, right? They're not amazingly exciting unless you have something specific that you're looking for. Uh, is it?
Gunpowder.
Right?
That would be probably an Isengard.
Mm,
Well, that's
trying to
okay.
think
So
of.
let's
Oh, a blanket or
okay, blankets. That's perfect. Can you roll a riddle for me, please?
sure.
Oh, you know what we should roll for? A compass.
Oh, you're so
Yeah,
smart with that. That's a good idea.
Maybe.
yeah. I'll try to ask that about the things that I'm gonna be looking for.
I still think that fireworks should be on the table, but
I
maybe
made
a
it
toy
You made it?
that makes like a
5
chicken
and an
noise.
8.
Five and
Yeah.
an 8. Okay, great. So you see, you
A clapping monkey.
pass
Yeah. Do I
the.
get a compass and a blanket?
No, you get a blanket, which is great, and so it's a nice little
That
comfy
doesn't
blanket. And then, Paladin, would you like to roll to see if you can find a compass?
Oh, I'd like to search for a compass some marbles, and something to help pick a lock if need be. So small implements
Look
to
at you
work with
go.
mine. Because one thing I grabbed the butter knife for was to help pick locks. So
Okay, could you also do a riddle roll?
Like super smart.
all right, here we go. Sapphire's asleep in the dice pit.
Well, I also have knitting needles. You can pick a lock with knitting needles.
Oh, nice. So it's a 14. So I got a 10, a 6, a 6, and a 2.
Wow, so you passed with flying colors. You did not find a broken compass, which was in my brain. You found a fully working compass, and it's quite beautiful. You did find a nice large bag of marbles, and
That's a
there's
good
a
percent.
little piece of wiry junk on the side that the vendor just gives you for free that looks like something you might be able to pick a lock with.
So what was it? It a large bag
It,
of
it,
wires.
it's just a wiry looking thing that you might be able to jimmy a lock with.
Gotcha.
It's nondescript kind of bent wire that you think, oh, I could probably. You didn't have to buy it, which was great.
Millie says hello.
Hi, Millie.
So I'm going
Yeah.
to I'm gonna do a little fast forward because I know we're getting a little bit towards our own Hobbit bedtimes. That you make your way to, unless anybody objects to a little fast forward. Okay,
No,
so
that's fine.
you make your way to the Walking Party Inn tavern. And inside the tavern, you see softwood and hardwooden beams making up most of the building's outer structure. Inside, well, as you're entering, you can see it's kind of tough to see through the closed windows, but you can hear music and voices. Um, as you enter the tavern through the colorful wooden decorated door, you're welcomed by rich but unknown scents and aromas of roasted meats and mead. The air is thick with smoke. The bartender is working hard, but still manages you to welcome in with a short wave. It is charming inside and outside. Several walls support the upper floor, and lanterns are attached to them. The walls are littered with all sorts of memorabilia, though whether they are collected or donated is uncertain, likely mathoms from the tables outside from years long past. The tavern itself is filled. Several long tables are occupied by what looks like the entire surrounding village. The other smaller tables are also occupied by people who seem to be enjoying themselves a lot, perhaps too much, if such a thing is possible. Even most of the stools at the bar are occupied, though nobody seems to mind more company. As if fate is with you, the table next to you stands up with some belligerence and heads out of the front door. A waitress darts out and motions for you to sit among the pitchers and scraps that she is cleaning up. Are you part of the pipeweed merchants?
No.
Oh,
I'm
well.
gonna say yes.
Yes, we are.
Oh, yes and no. Well, that's lovely. It is just so busy tonight. It's just
We don't know
unexpected.
her.
She's your waitress.
No.
Oh, her. Yeah, she's. Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Well,
And
I don't have to. I'm your friend. You guys are friends.
excellent, excellent. I'm sorry for all of the busyness. I'll be with you
They are.
shortly.
I'm not. Met them
She
later
rushes
after
off
the
and comes
pipe
back with a
business.
pitcher of water.
I'm just here to
Can I roll to get drunk?
I'm gonna say that
I'm their
is
client.
100% doable without a roll.
All right.
So you do
Cool.
decide to begin drinking pretty heavily, likely because of
Excellent.
your spill
I'm getting
earlier.
twisted.
If you get dunked, you must get drunked.
There we go.
All right. So Lobella is now Shawasty.
Yep.
So does that make my charisma like go up or down?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Definitely up.
Well,
very
Lord
Anything
Master.
refreshing.
crazy,
Maybe it
always up.
makes me lose one of my pips in curiosity and adds an awe.
Yes.
I don't know. So
Or you're
she brings
still
back
looking.
water. Huh?
She brings back water. You
You
order
start
some
mumbling
beers.
to Baggins in the corner. Like, what
I'm
is she doing?
She brings.
gonna like rip up the deed and throw it in the fire.
Yeah. She's
Right.
she's brought you water. She's brought you a couple pitchers at this point. You're feeling nice and toasty, and the place is still absolutely packed and filled with laughter and smoke. It's now dark outside. The night is kind of moving forward, and
And the
uh,
floors are sticky, like
the
any good bar.
the floors are sticky like any good bar.
Definitely.
And even though you're enjoying the company and hanging out with each other and the atmosphere, you can almost just feel the wood getting a little uncomfortable where you're sitting because you've been there for a while.
I've been saying this whole time we need to get a room.
Let's do it.
Well,
All right.
have you? You've been drinking a lot and not wanting to go up to the room.
Well, now I don't. I got my silk and my, needles and my fish hooks. So I'm gonna take my tankard and I'm gonna wobble upstairs. Do
Uh,
we have a room? Do we need to use a roll
First, you
for
should probably grab the waitress's attention, I would say, to inquire about rooms.
awesome?
We're about to use some persuade.
Okay, so you
Busy.
wave down the waitress. She rushes back over. She's had a very long night, obviously, and before you're able to ask, I need all of you to roll a riddle.
Okay. So for me, that is 3 little ones. And then, oh, shoot. Oh, I got
14
it.
of 13. I got it.
You
I
pass?
got a 12, a 5, and 2 ones.
Is that a pass for you?
It is.
Yeah, my target number is 14, and I rolled 19 with 2 sixes.
Job.
19 with 2 sixes.
All right,
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
So 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
Oh, yeah. And it's teeth.
I think it is teeth. Yes, teeth.
So
But Wheeze only has 6, my precious. So says Gollum.
so you wave the waitress over and to gather a room, and she comes in and pauses and looks at all of you for a second. She goes, "This is interesting. What exactly brings you to Waymeet? This you seem like if you're not part of the pipeweed merchants, then who are you and what are you doing here?" And remembering Bilbo's advice to lay undercover, Lobelia busts out with that riddle. And the waitress loves riddles and decides that she wants to try to answer and forget all about asking you questions because you all pass your riddle check.
Oh,
You,
good.
you all
I
stay
was going to
Excellent.
say,
very incognito.
my answer to what you were saying was I was going to intimidate her.
Oh, you riddled her. You riddled her.
All right,
You
that's
changed the
better.
That was
subject
mentally
entirely,
intimidating.
and you wowed her with this riddle. And you're able to ask her about the rooms, and she says, "Oh, unfortunately, with the merchants that are here, all of our rooms are full." At that, kind of a grizzled older hobbit waddles over to the table. He's like, I'm heading home right now. I'm a farmer. My name's Bunce, and I've got a barn that you guys can stay in, but all I need in exchange is for you to get rid of this troublesome owl that just keeps my mule up all night hooting." So does that seem fair to the three of you?
Sure.
Sure.
Wait, yeah.
And
What
with
what do
that,
you want us to do? Just get rid of the owl, or
we'll
kill the owl, or
however
No,
however you
not
want.
kill it.
I don't want to know. I just want the owl to get out. I just want it gone.
I think that I need to go buy a bow and arrow because I'm gonna shoot it and eat it.
You have had a lot to drink.
I'm Lobelia. That's what I'm gonna do.
I love it.
Paladin hears this and then just pauses, and then just takes a step back and just smiles. Okay, okay.
Your athletics is what again?
Paladin just
Mine?
Yeah, the owl killer.
So I'm great with
We
bows,
can ride
apparently.
logs and kill owls, and who ends up doing it? And throwing bows over the river. I am
apparently
not going to kill an owl.
I have 20 endurance and 16 strength. I'm a rough old bird. I also
Rough
can't
old
find my
bird,
other die.
I
All
guess.
right.
So do I
Gets
need
drunk
to
and
try
killed.
to find a bow and arrow, or do we do this a different way?
Well, there is the
I'm
matter
gonna
of
trap it
agreeing to
and put it in a
leaving the
cage.
bar and agreeing. So you taking him up on the offer?
What was the farmer's name?
Bunts.
Is there can I try to find what is that called again? The gifts, the bad gifts.
The
Can we-
The
Mathams.
Matham?
The Mathams. Can we try to find a bird cage in the Mathams?
Oh, they're all
Are there
closed at this point.
Are there any wanted posters on these wooden beams that have this man Bunce's face on them? That's a good.
No,
good.
no.
No, that's
Good question.
Is this a trap?
This is not a trap.
No, is
Good
it like
question.
the Hills Have Eyes hobbits? Are we gonna be okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You could actually roll for
This is my
insight.
sister and my daughter.
If somebody'd like to roll for insight, you can check.
Insight. I'll roll for insight. Yeah, I have 2 pips in that.
Oh, I have insight also if you don't get it.
Do I have animal speaking? Because that's usually customary.
Let's see, inside. That's my target's 11, and I got 18 with 1/6.
18 with 1/6. That's amazing. So, as Bunce is talking to you, the waitress comes up and they're very friendly, know each other extremely well, and she actually you ask, oh, so can you vouch for his character? And she says, oh, absolutely. He's like an uncle and a father to most of us. I used to go and play in his barn, and you feel like this is all very safe and a fair hobbit of hobbits.
Okay.
Well, a little grumpy.
Yeah. What was the waitress's name that loves riddles?
That is a great question, and her name is Robin Burrows, and she's about 48. She has keen eyes and an inquisitive look.
Am I supposed to persuade my own party not to want to hurt this bird? Or is it 2 against 1 again?
Well, I would say that if everybody's in accord, that you head out to Bunce's farm, and I want to check in with the party on how everybody's doing. This is a decent breaking point, or we would have another decent breaking point maybe in about 15-20 minutes. So I want to check in with the players of the party to see how you're doing.